screwed that thing up. With an offensive penalty on the offensive line by either the best or one of the best offensive linemen which I didn't know that until Herb Street and Fowler started talking about it. But the guy is unbelievable, grades out at a high level, and is going to play in the NFL.
Yeah.
And he jumps off sides, and boom. You don't know what's going to happen. They kick the field goal, and eventually Carson Beck throws the pick. And the Indiana Hoosiers are national champs in football, something I never, ever, ever, ever thought I would say.
I think they thought that either.
You don't think they thought that either? No.
By the way, I'm a fan.
I never, in 23 years of doing this, I never thought I would say the Indiana Hoosiers are national champs.
Oh, would have laughed at you.
Yeah. And
rightfully so, though. I mean, it's not like they'd given us any reason to.
How insane was Mendoza's run on fourth down?
The call was nuts.
It was.
That's balls.
Yeah.
Steel.
It is.
I like it.
I know.
And then for Mendoza to have the Superman Heisman-like run that was pretty tight.
Yeah, I mean, he has to really navigate a lot of dudes around him in Miami.
And they go airborne.
Miami could punish you, and they did punish you last night.
Like
I mean, they got some guys that were laying licks, laying the wood. Mendoza gets drilled going in and then gets drilled going over the goal line again.
You can't have that kind of a run and lose the ball game.
Golly.
Like, all right, like what would we think about Vince Young had USC come back and won that ball game? I mean, that runs, it's obsolete, right? Like you never think about
it's not, I don't know about that, but it is devastating.
Yeah.
Period.
You got to win.
Yeah.
Once it happened, they had to win.
No doubt. Can you give me a percentage that Indiana will repeat? Less than 10%. I mean, this dude,
right.
This thing's going to be a roller coaster getting ready. I mean, going forward.
Right.
Sorry.
That's not Ohio State.
Am I going to the Budweiser caller line?
Oh, Mo. I didn't hang up this time.
All right, Mo, I'm sorry that Jackson Meadows hung up on you. He can't figure out the phone. What's up? Good morning.
It's all good, man. Good to hear you guys talking again. But yeah, I just enjoyed the game. It's amazing to me the experience that you have on the Indiana squad. I hadn't gotten to catch a lot of their games. The ones I caught, it just seems like they're just calm under pressure. They've been there. They act like they know what's going on. It's just I love the NIL situation we have now, where guys can really develop their craft. You really had a bunch of grown men out there playing, and that's what I think college football is going to go to. You know, you have the Jimmys and Joes, these 4-stars and 5-stars, but if you're not developing a team, you're not going to be able to go through that 16 grueling season and really have the strength and intelligence and experience to win in the big game. And just the cool heads under pressure last night for Indiana, you know, they fought early and they took every blow that Miami gave to them. And it just seems like the better team won. And I don't think Indiana can repeat, but I think they'll be there next year because this coach has it together. He has a plan, and I guarantee he's bringing in some more mature guys that's going to improve his team. It's going to come down to, can he get a good quarterback and replace a few of the key players that are leaving. But it's a great game, great season, and I look forward to what's going to happen in college football. Also, did you see President Keenum on the sideline, Hail State? I guess that's the only way we're going to get to the playoff or the championship game.
Yes.
Y'all have a good one.
Thanks for the call. Yeah, Keenum's a big part of the college football playoff. I did not see him on the sideline, but I'm glad that you referenced that.
Me too.
And yeah, to piggyback off of what you said on Indiana, they're ranked 7th in the portal rankings.
Third.
So LSU's 1, Ole Miss is 2, and Texas is 3rd. Ohio State getting in it.
Yeah,
I mean, these are blue bloods getting in it at 16 players apiece.
Crazy.
Ohio State at 4. Penn State has 36 transfers committed with the new coach in Matt Campbell replacing James Franklin. And then Oklahoma State has 53 commits with the new coach replacing Mike Gundy. And then you go Indiana. So that's how it looks.
People want to go to Bloomington.
Yeah.
For what?
Winning.
I know.
The guy, here's a great text.
And it helps.
On the Golden Moon Casino text line, 601-885-3776. Unnamed texter. Bo, Jamari Sharp, who caught the winning interception, was a 3-star recruit on the team before Cignetti.
That's correct.
How about that for coaching effect? Yeah, look, man, Cignetti and his staff, I know we get tired of talking about it. There's something to it. They know how to get their players motivated,
right,
to get better. You can call it whatever. Develop. The players are focused on getting in the building, getting in the strength and conditioning program, the coaching that they're getting on the field, the preparation week to week, all of that. I mean, Cignetti, yes, was under Saban. Yes, his dad was a legendary coach, and he took all this and waited 40 years for the Power 4 job, and now he's a national champ. It's an amazing American story where I think a lot of people think I have to have my dream job by 28, and Cignetti made $3.5 million over 40 years, which is good. But then he got his opportunity in the Power 5 at what is one of the worst programs in the Power 5, 3 bowl wins in their history, and he made the most of it.
Yeah. It's a I mean, isn't that the story you want to use for pretty much all of life?
Yes.
I mean, isn't that it? Doesn't he embody everything you want out of your kids in life and stuff? I don't have any, but I got to imagine that's what I would want.
No question. They had, for the last 20 years, they've had a winning season. 2007, they went a whopping 7-6.
Nice. Tom Allen.
2019, they went 8-5.
Nice.
And that's it.
Okay.
Until Cignetti got there.
That's just.
They've got some 5-win, 3-win, 1 win, 4 wins, 4 wins, 5 wins, 2 wins, 4 wins, 3 wins. That I didn't reference all of them, but just gives you an idea of what Indiana was prior to Cignetti's arrival.
I'd like to see where they were recruiting at before he got there as well. I mean, it had to be in the low 90s, 80s.
I don't think it was that bad.
Okay,
but I would think it was somewhere between
50 and 70.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think 50 and
both in-state schools recruited in the top 25, top 30.
Yes,
Just
Ole Miss
reference.
is always around 20. Mississippi State floats between 25th and 30th.
Okay.
Yeah. Their all-time record prior to 2025 in the Big Ten was 253 wins, 541 losses, and 24 ties. Okay? So their winning percentage was 32.3% going into the 2025 season. 253 wins, 541 losses.
Incredible.
Kurt Cignetti, Indiana, the Hoosiers are national champs. How's that going to sit for Notre Dame? Notre Dame hasn't won a national championship since Reagan was handing over the title to George Bush in 1988. Lou Holtz, Notre Dame, 1988, in the same state. South Bend, Indiana is no longer the football town in Indiana. It is now Bloomington.
Wow.
What do you think? I mean, Marcus Freeman did some of the studio on-site analysis with Saban and Reese Davis and Desmond Howard last night.
Looked great.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Marcus Freeman always looks good.
Always.
He looks like a model.
He does.
And he's also looks like he works out 6 days a week.
Yep.
But Indiana is now the football school in the state of Indiana. It's not the Indianapolis Colts, who are Super Bowl winners.
That's right.
And it's not Notre Dame, who last won their national championship when people were dying to wear really baggy, big pleated pants with Argyle sweaters and really, really uncomfortable dress shoes and a navy blazer. I kind of just framed up Notre Dame at that time and George Bush.
Yeah.
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 I'm not sure it was a compliment, but
no. But
I'm going to be nice. Maybe.
For now.
Do you think I should?
No. Yeah, he can't be nice. There's no reason. I mean, look, Indiana just won that whole thing. They're not being nice to anybody.
Whoa. Robert says, what year was it that State passed on Signetti? When they hired Levy. Yeah, year. Signetti was winning at James Madison at that time. Yeah. And he was winning big.
With those players.
And somehow he brought, I think, 13 players with them, and like 9 or 10 worked out as starters. Of course, you saw the running back last night. You saw some other players.
The big boy.
I mean, good Lord. I don't understand, even though people are like, well, they're older. Okay, I get that. There is a massive difference between being 18 and 23.
Yes.
No question. And all the reps and all the more weight room workouts, and those all matter and compounded, like y'all all know, it makes a difference. A lot of times. I mean, sometimes you got kids like Malachi last night for Miami who reclassified and should be a senior in high school. Sometimes you just have freaks. Jeffrey Simmons, A.J. Brown from this state just stepped on the field as freshmen. They're ready to roll. But that is few from our top 10 every year, as y'all know. Like Caleb Cunningham, I mean, I was told all last year was going to, catch 47 balls for 780 yards and 7 touchdowns. He couldn't get on the field. So it's rare that you get a Jeffrey Simmons and an A.J. Brown that just buckle up in August.
Yeah.
And they're ready to roll. I'm not saying there wasn't a learning curve. It wasn't as easy as they made it look.
Sure.
But they were guys who were able to not just play Jackson, but perform at a really high level to be a true freshman from the state of Mississippi in the SEC.
No question.
These James Madison kids, I get it, they're older, but still, he was able to get kids that were still able to get developed enough to where they could play against Miami, Ohio State, and Alabama.
Right.
I just don't think that always. I want to know more. I don't know this. Like it. What frustrates me is like how does Lane, like Kiffin, I understand a little bit about his organizational structure. We do know a couple of people in the building, but I don't know everything that I want to know as to how he set up the greatest modern day scouting department in college football post 2020 when we started to get NIL in 2021. And I want to know how Kurt Signetti knew how to do it, because it's not like he was with Saban for several years during the NIL time.
No.
I mean, granted, he took what many of Saban's models and blueprints and incorporated them into what he wanted to do and how he wanted to run the Indiana program. But what I want to know is, how did Lane understand to build the greatest modern day scouting department in the history of college football? And how did Kurt Signetti understand also how to build the greatest scouting department in modern day college football post 2020, 2021?
Is it a Saban?
I need to know. I want to know more. I mean, I can read the Ross Dellinger articles and they give me some, but like I would pay to sit in some of those 12 to 15 hour marathon meetings. I'd pay to see how they operate, Kiffin and Signetti, on a day-to-day basis, and why they choose this player over that player, and what are the metrics, and what are they've obviously got something that they go by for almost every player, but then they've got something that they go by position, sure, as far as what they're looking for. To me, evaluating, scouting, developing, just I think for y'all too, is fascinating. And I want to know, how that happened. Also, Mario Cristobal's done an amazing job.
Yes.
He was able to put together a model 3 years ago that also worked, and the culmination of phenomenal portal recruiting and high school recruiting and getting the right defensive coordinator finally and bringing it all together. And with a new quarterback, I know Signetti had a new one too, and so did Kiffin with Trinidad, and make it all work and get to the national championship game. Man. Those things are amazing to me.
It's incredible.
Because it's hard to get people, everybody listening understands how hard it is to get everybody on the same page. If you're walking into a school today, you're walking into a business, an organization, whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's hard, whatever division you're in. And to get everybody in somewhat of a good mindset to be productive today between now and 4, 5, or 6 this afternoon. How did Kiffin, who doesn't even have a relationship with his players other than the quarterback and possibly one other player, You talk to other players, like, I don't know him. He's aloof, but he is able to lay the groundwork for his staff of the expectations that he expects. Again, it reminds me of Urban Meyer, who says, you have to coach your room, you have to manage your room, you have to, and if you don't, I'll find somebody that does or will. So those are the things that I am just blows my mind what Cignetti was able to do in a short period of time. But how are the James Madison players good enough? Don't just tell me, well, he developed them. Well, I get that. And that's amazing. And he has a rigorous cutting-edge strength and conditioning program that, yes, he got from Nick Saban. But even though these guys are older, how are this many James Madison players able to beat Miami, Ohio State, and Bama? Tell me.
I mean, impactful. It feels like all of them, but obviously. So, the guy that blocked the punt last night, that's one of them. That's one of their big ones. How in the world is that guy busting through lines and clobbering punts?
The two, there were many wonderful plays by the defense and by the offense from both teams and special teams. You're right. The blocked punt where the guy didn't even pick you. I cannot figure out why number 87, who I'm sure is a talented athlete.
Sure.
I don't know how he just let somebody run right past him. Like that's mind-boggling to me. I mean, you saw the special teams coach and Mario Cristobal talking, and I think they were both at a loss that, hey, I think the special teams coach was like, we were in the right formation. The guy should have just picked the guy up. Should have been pretty normal play.
Yeah.
And they don't. He puts a paw out. They block it. It actually goes the right direction.
Right.
And they follow on it in the end zone. And then I thought the fourth down call with Fernando was one nails because shows you I don't know anything. I was going, kick the field goal. Take the points.
Take the points.
I just feel like Miami is really struggling against your defense. I feel like your defense is so sound and so solid, although they gave up those two explosive plays, just like Ole Miss did to Miami. Miami was able to create explosive plays when I wasn't sure if they were going to be able to.
Right.
But the play call for Fernando to run the ball, they didn't run him. They did not run him last night.
No.
Neither quarterback really ran last night, which is crazy because it goes to show you how many crazy pills I take because I demand that you have to have a mobile dual-threat quarterback. Now, those guys can move. They're not statues. And obviously, when Fernando took off, it was unbelievable. I mean, there were landmines all around him in the red zone trying to navigate his way through there, and he got absolutely lit up twice going into the end zone. Right?
Dicey call, dicey run. What a way to finish.
That's not, I need a better answer than, all right, give me your feedback. Give me your feedback on the game and the college football season as a whole. We just had a team that we never thought would win it. Ever. Are we going to have another one? Texas Tech? Virginia Tech? Ole Miss? Go out west. Oregon, we wouldn't be surprised. But
wouldn't be surprised if Texas wins. You'd be surprised if Texas Tech wins it?
I guess I shouldn't be after last night.
Well, especially after last night, no.
But maybe I would. Maybe I don't. I'm not going to say that I wouldn't be surprised prior to.
Okay.
The Out of Bounds Show is driven by your next GMC Sierra truck at Fowler GMC, Pearl Brandon.
Stand by for audio. Got it.
It's 8 a.m., and you're tuned to Mississippi's #1 choice for non-stop sports. The Out of Bounds Show with Bo Bounds.
Where am I?
On the Zone 105.9 and online at thezone1059.com.
All right. Good morning. Welcome into the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone.
I mean, that's a joke to me.
Indiana Hoosiers national champs over Miami. Hell of a ball game. Hell of a year. Had some good games in the college football playoffs. I mean, Indiana blew some teams out. Sorry, Alabama. The new crimson for college football is Indiana. It's definitely not Roll Tide. Hell, is Kalen DeBoer on the hot seat? Is it official? I think Jackson said that they have locker room problems. So the new crimson in college football belongs to the team that wears crimson in college football is the Indiana Hoosiers. Indiana. Mackenzie Salmon.
Yeah.
What do you think? I bet she had a lot of champagne last night.
I'll give her a ring shortly and see what she did.
Yeah, we're going to have to get her on the show.
Yeah.
Oh, did he say he's going to give her a ring? Like an actual ring?
Yeah,
Or
I think
that's
so. I
not-
think
not
he
that
said, I'm
Mackenzie.
giving her a ring.
Different Mackenzie.
And we want her on the show.
Yeah.
For our listeners, she was with the Clarion Ledger. Then she's been with USA Today for, I think, a while, right?
Wow, yeah.
Yeah. She lives in New York.
Killing it.
But-
Jersey. She's a Jersey girl.
And then Miami, I guess she was there last night, but I didn't look to see if she was. But she's an Indiana Hoosier grad.
She is.
Yeah. So,
Big Cincinnati fan, obviously.
yeah. Who wouldn't be?
I don't know. Is there anybody that dislikes that guy? I mean, has he done anything wrong?
You know, do you have the Google me thing? Because I don't know where these things go, but it's no longer in my thing. No. I don't know what you do when you come up here, but I don't have my Signetti Google me drop, which really, bothers me and makes me mad at you. And I don't want to be mad at you. But the Golden Moon Casino text line is 601-885-3776. Oh, speaking of, Kessler Prime and the Renaissance Steaks and Seafood and Elijah Craig Bourbon and fantastic wine and just all kinds of good fried crab claws. Ooh. KesslerPrime.com to make a reservation. This is 105.9 The Zone ESPN. I'm your host, Bo Bounds, Jackson Meadows. Wes is with us. We got Mike Detillier at 8:30. WWL Radio TV New Orleans. We'll talk about the game and Kurt Signetti and the fact that he runs college football now. Indiana. The Indiana Hoosiers won the national championship with Fernando Mendoza, who none of you knew who that was, out at Cal Berkeley, and then Kurt Signetti, and nobody was following James Madison football. And none of you had ever watched Indiana play football unless you had a bet on it or a family member that was somehow tied into the program. You didn't turn. I mean, you remember for years, shows you again what I know. For years, I made fun of the 11 a.m. Big Ten game. And you would go from, this is when the Big Ten was still tied in with the ESPN. You'd go from game day to Purdue and Indiana. Well, nobody watched that garbage.
No.
I mean, that's when you went and started messing with your red beans and rice and doing a few things before an SEC game got going. Because you would get game day and then they would show Northwestern and Indiana. Yeah. It would be super overcast, looked miserable, didn't look like anybody was having fun, and the game was always 6-3 at halftime.
Barn burner.
No scoring. And so, now they're the talk and toast of the town because Signetti reminds you of a little bit of a grandparent. He's quirky. He says whatever he wants to say. Do we have the Google? Unbelievable.
What we got?
All right. Well,
or computering.
so this guy is more CPA professor than like meatball football coach. Is that fair?
All day.
I mean, Ed Ogeron won a national championship, but that was at LSU.
Right.
I mean, Kirby Smart's got some, he's got some meatball in him. And God, his
Kirby?
locker room, yeah.
He is a meatball.
No, he's very smart.
Oh yeah, he's a smart meatball.
He's intelligent.
I'm
He's
not taking that from him.
but he can go, caveman, locker room, meathead guy. Okay. And well, we even caught Saban on some clips over the years getting down.
Wait, whoa.
Yeah.
What do you mean by this?
D's nuts and all that. So
Wait, what? Hold on. How did I miss that?
how did you?
I missed most things. Which year was this?
I don't know what year exactly. Who
You're
cares?
I thought you
The
supposed
point
to know
is that it was brought out and it was a big deal. Why would you ask me what year that
Dude,
was? What does that have to do with anything?
I need to know if I was paying attention or not.
I know you're not paying attention.
That's a good point.
Half the time when I start the show and I'll say something on purpose, you do this look like you had no idea, and it's like the biggest sports story the day before on Twitter.
Most times.
How many times a week are you on Twitter?
I knew it. I knew it was going to be 21. I don't get on Twitter.
Huh?
I don't really get on Twitter. I go to your Twitter.
Well, whatever. I don't care whose Twitter.
Twice a day. Once a day.
Yeah, but you're posting stuff for me,
Yeah,
for us, for the show. Are you like looking at what the scuttlebutt is on the sports topic du jour of the day?
It's been a while.
D's Nuts came out in 2021.
I knew it was 21.
Yeah.
That's why I was asking.
Post-COVID, you had to do something.
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention to the music.
I mean, good
That's
Lord.
funny, though.
People got a little crazy. It even made Nick Saban crazy, right?
See, I skipped a year. I skipped 2 with COVID. COVID happened, and
And then you had to be a baker for you told me 15 months.
skipped a year.
I mean, you had to.
I was tied up.
Well, somebody had to make a bunch of cookies and brownies and support themselves, which I thought was
That's
very
correct.
entrepreneurial. I mean,
got
you sat in your house, probably watched TV.
Yeah.
I bet
Dude, I was
knowing
playing.
you,
He watched Jeopardy.
I bet you watched all those morning female shows.
First
Because that's
off-
kind of you growing up with 3 sisters.
All my children
I could
stayed on.
Yeah, I could see. All right, so you're watching All My Children
Eaters.
while, I mean, did you have stuff all over the
You
kitchen?
have no idea.
Like flour
You would have
and
walked in and been furious.
yeah.
I mean, think about the worst our back rooms have been.
Mm-hmm.
Times 10.
Oh wow.
Because there's just crap everywhere. Because, I have these morsels that I'm throwing into stuff too, right? So I've got all
Oh,
these
like little chocolate chips or
cinnamon,
caramel,
whatever you got.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's all scattered around, and I don't have a Tupperware for them, so they're all in the bag still. So the bag's ripped open. It's just, it was a mess, but it was beautiful chaos.
Beautiful chaos. I like that. So you were a baker during COVID, and you were almost like Kurt Signetti building Indiana, or Lane Kiffin building Ole Miss,
Honestly,
or Mario Cristobal building Miami.
there's no question that at some point during that baking run, I felt the same way Signetti did out on that field last night.
And you probably recruited some James Madison type players to be part of your baking team that made you better.
or the kickball team.
Is that fair?
Or the kickball
Man,
team.
whatever. Yeah, if we'll be kind, we can give him James Madison status.
Okay. How many people would you have helping on a big day? I mean, I know a lot of times you were by yourself.
4.
Okay.
4 total, 3. Well, that's 3 plus, so 4 including me.
4 including you. As part of the Meadows baking team.
The crew.
Okay. Or the Straight Funk. That's the Straight Funk baking team.
That's what it was.
All right.
Well, I'm not going to lie, I'm drunk.
Good Lord have mercy. Mike Detillier, WWL Radio TV New Orleans at 8:30.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. I win. It's pretty simple. Yeah, it's pretty simple. I win. Google me.
Good morning. Welcome into the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 1059 The Zone, brought to you by the Men's Clinic in Madison and Brandon, Dr. Mike Manning and Dr. Cliff Adams. Helping you, assisting you through the aging process. TheManThing.com, your low testosterone, low energy, don't have the sex drive, energy, or oomph that you had. Call the Men's Clinic today in Madison or Brandon, or go online, TheManThing.com, TheManThing.com. And Dr. Mike Manning and Dr. Cliff Adams will create a program that works for you. TheManThing.com, TheManThing.com. Congratulations to Indiana on winning the national title, Miami. Also, Ole Miss for making the semifinals and the Final Four of the college football playoff. And it was a hell of a season. You know, you see people complain about college football and, you know, kind of the old man yelling at the clouds thing. I thought it was a hell of a season. Great games. We no longer have those one or two teams that just dominate everybody and beat people by 30 and 40 points. I mean, Bama got beat by 35 points in the college football playoff by the Indiana Hoosiers. They never, ever, ever, ever in a million years thought that they would lose to Indiana, much less get clobbered. All right. Ohio State got thumped, right? And Indiana just imposed their will throughout the season. Now, they had some tight games, y'all. Iowa, Penn State, Oregon. I mean, they had to do some things in those games, and I think that helped them last night. I think maybe we lost sight of that because they thumped Bama and had some big blowout playoff wins. But they had to work to beat Iowa. They had to work to beat Penn State. And they had to work to beat Oregon in the regular season, and they did. The Golden Moon Casino text line 601-885-3776. Do we have Signetti? All right. This is one of the best. Kurt Signetti.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. I win. Google me.
That nobody knew who he was except Dave Bartu, who mentioned him 8 years ago on the air, and everybody laughed. I mean, Bartu was the first time I ever heard of Kurt Signetti was Bartu talking about him winning at James Madison. I thought, stop, let's move on to something else. This was years ago. But when he was introduced, nobody cared about it. Nobody cared about the press conference. And nobody cares about Indiana football. And he said that, and people laughed.
Well, yeah.
People laughed and said, oh, that's cute. He'll go to Indiana. And if he's successful, they'll go 6-6. Like if he does a great job, they'll go 6-6, and they'll end up, you know, at whatever bowl that you don't care about.
Right.
And then what happened? He goes to the college football playoff in year one, and then wins the national title in year two. Lands two phenomenal quarterbacks, and Fernando Mendoza is also the talk and the toast of college football too. Great player. God, that run was incredible. I mean, he took shot after shot last night, but that run on fourth down was insane. And look, after he got the first down, it was a plus play, but to then run it in was pretty damn
airborne.
Yeah.
He left the ground, baby.
But
Guy named
Cinetti's
Sliced
two
Bread.
fourth down calls were huge, though, as well. Those
Yeah.
2 fourth down calls.
Well, and they kept converting.
Somehow.
Yeah. So Herb Street was going back and forth on back shoulder or underthrown ball, whatever. But they just kept finding a way when they needed to move the sticks last night. And that's a credit to their team. And look, they jump off sides, and everybody, I think, is thinking, is a mental mistake going to cost them? Where they have been so mentally sound for 15 of their 16 games.
How did you not feel like that was about to happen, right?
Yeah, you kind of felt like, oh, God,
it was about to happen.
is Miami going to do this?
Like,
They had just done it to Ole Miss.
Right.
Are they going to do it to, Indiana? Man.
And Jackson's boy, Carson Beck, throws into double coverage
my
to
dude.
end the
Yeah.
game.
He threw a
mean-
bunch of bad balls last night.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he underthrew that ball, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
So I mean, he threw it right to the DB.
Yeah.
But I mean, whatever.
There are many of those, though. I mean, not even that.
Wonder what he actually got paid. I'm always weary, when you see a number at $4.5 million. Is it really $3.5? When you see $2 million, is it really $1 million or $1.5 million? When you see $500,000, is it really $300,000? Just because of what agents and handlers want people to
believe.
Yeah.
set
And they're
the
trying to
market,
sell
right?
for their
Yeah.
next guy that they're
That's right.
trying. So they're like, hey, I got him $600K when he really got him $350. But he's like, yeah, see that offensive lineman that just went to Virginia Tech? I got him $700K.
I set the market, man.
But they didn't. But they're trying to get the next guy. I get it. So
You want the update on our bowl pick'em?
yeah, I guess.
Yeah, we got a winner.
Was it Jason Price or Blake Scott?
It was not.
Well, damn.
I know.
I still can't believe that Jason Price, who can't even dribble a basketball,
That's absurd.
won the March Madness bracket a couple years ago.
We had some pretty solid entrants this year. We had a guy, he finished pretty high up in the nation, number 2,000 in the nation.
Okay, that's strong.
That's really good.
Yeah.
With a 99.7%.
What?
Coming in at 320 points, level 32. Lavelle or level 32. That is our winner of the Out of Bounds Bowl Pick'em.
Okay.
You didn't finish last.
I didn't?
Nope.
Next to last?
Well, yeah, we'll call it that. Yeah, you're close.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all good. And then let's see.
I don't even remember who I picked to win it. Ohio State?
Yes, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, you were. Yeah, you
That did not work out.
I think I picked them too. I was number 29. Dang,
Okay.
I had a winning record.
Did you?
I do feel good about that.
Are you bragging on yourself?
Well, I just wanted to make sure you knew that I had a winning record.
Okay.
Okay, so we did have a winner.
You finished
level.
29th in our
Yeah.
bracket challenge.
Yeah,
Okay. All right.
that's how, dude. I usually win these things.
No, you don't. You're just making stuff up.
Never won one.
No.
No, I've won one.
When?
Is whenever I chalked it up and I took every Vegas spread, and whoever was going to win according to Vegas, I took that as the winner, and bada bing, bada boom.
Chalk?
Chalk. It wasn't all chalk. It was the Vegas winners, which was close to chalk, but they had a few 12 over 5s in a March Madness.
All right. One of the grand prizes is a Turtle Box Ranger from Rick's Pro Truck. Turtle Box Ranger from Rick's Pro Truck. 3 locations in the metro area. That's going to be awesome. Plus some Golden Moon hotel gift certificate, Dancing Rabbit, 2 rounds,
Oh, these things are sweet.
food gift card. So what now?
These things are sweet.
The Turtle Box
Yeah.
Rangers? Yeah, they are. I've got a Turtle Box. I don't have a Turtle Box Ranger, but those things are good looking.
This is pretty tight.
Thank you to Rick's Pro Truck for jumping in.
No doubt. And, of course, we come with some heat.
We always come with heat. I mean, we had a bowl pick 'em. It was awesome.
That's right.
So that's what we do.
So, Lovell, you need to get in contact with us, bud.
And we don't run around complaining about NIL and ruining college football like some people. Good. I mean, that game was great last night. The season was amazing.
So good.
Unbelievable. The kids played hard, super physical. They left it all on the field. Mike Detillier coming up next on the Hoosiers as national champs and some LSU.
Never say never, but never.
Hey, Out of Bounds, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. I'm your host, Bo Bounds. And the show is brought to you by Sound and Communications. If you need a video wall for your business, conference room, lobby, school, hospital, CPA law firm, Sound and Communications, soundcomav.com. That sound stands for audiovisual. Soundcomav.com. 1M, soundcomav.com. They will power your next video wall for your business, school, or hotel. We welcome in Mike Detillier, WWL Radio TV New Orleans. Mike, I've been doing this for 23 years. You've been doing this longer than I have. I never thought that I would be talking about Indiana, the Indiana Hoosiers, as national champs in football. Did you?
No. And I really wondered when Curt Cignetti took that job, he had success everywhere else, if he had made the right choice here. And, you know, he wasn't a young coach taking this job. That's the other part about it. But, you know, he took over a program that in the 3 years ahead of him, there were 9 wins, 27 losses. And you just sort of wondered if he could have his magic there, and he absolutely did. One of the things I give him full credit for is having a vision of how to piece together a team in the ever-changing world of college athletics. And with NIL, with the transfer portal, and how he was able to get it done. And in a very short period of time. It's an amazing ride. They'll be writing books about, you know, Cignetti and this Indiana team for quite some time. Because it is the textbook on how to do it in today's world. And if you think Indiana's going anywhere, and you're kidding yourself. Because look what they have done in the transfer portal to bring in players. They have a big fan base across America, and they got them financially with some deep pockets there. So you're going to be able to continue this run. Now, winning a national championship is difficult because there's a lot of hurdles that you got to cross to do it. But what he did, Bo, is a remarkable bit of coaching, setup, understanding today's rules, and also, I think, while he's still an old school coach, his relationship with his players are very good.
Yeah.
And I think that combination of everything is difficult to hit today, even for much younger coaches than a mid-60s, you know, Curt Cignetti. Even for young coaches, it's difficult for them to relate and to be able to motivate and focus these players that when you bring them in for one cause. And I've said this so many times on WWL about, you know, we've seen the movie Hoosiers and Gene Hackman's comment about team. And that's what he was able to bring to Indiana football.
Mike Detillier, WWL Radio TV New Orleans. We're talking Indiana Hoosiers and Curt Cignetti. Mike, you've met so many people over the years. Have you met Cignetti?
No, I haven't. I have not. He's been one that I've not met throughout the years. Kept up with his career and very successful coach before he hits Indiana, and but haven't had a chance to meet him. Really haven't.
Hey, you know, we talk about his time with Saban. No doubt that impacted him. His dad was a great coach. And, you know, what's, I think, remarkable, Mike, is that he didn't get the job until he was 62. I mean, for 40 years, he had to wait 40 years to get a Power 4 job. And then once he got it, it was considered one of the bottom 5 4 jobs in the country. I mean, how remarkable is that, Mike D?
That to me is the part about it, because you can look across the landscape in what you're seeing today, like what's happened at Texas Tech. But Texas Tech had some success
right
in what they're doing. I think a team to watch is Houston, with a coach at a similar age in Willie Fritz. Man, you get into Houston, look all the talent that's there. And sometimes they don't go to Houston right away. You know, they'll go to another school. I would keep my eye out on the Cougars of Houston as a team that, you know, they recruited one of the top prep quarterbacks in the country. They've been very active in the portal. You know, we started our Tulane Tuesday segment a few years back with a guy by the name of Willie Fritz, who came into Tulane. And the success he was able to do building the Green Wave up. And he sort of caught the really beginning of name, image, likeness.
Yeah.
And he set up actually the money fund at Tulane with Mike Arata to get that going. And then John Summerall was able to do a great job also at Tulane. But he's somebody to watch. But to see it happen there at Indiana, Houston has had success in the past. So is Texas Tech. Indiana, man, their success is all built around basketball. You know, growing up, it was Bobby Knight and Indiana basketball.
right
It was nothing to do with football. And occasionally they'd have a run with a team. Lee Corso had a run with it that they went to a bowl game, but you could never sustain it. What Cignetti's built, this isn't just a one-time flash. You can see that this is happening in front of your very eyes, him being able to recruit and get talent from across the country. A great example is they signed Tulane's best wide receiver, Chaz Preston.
Hey.
Chaz grew up in St. James, which is right up the road from me, maybe 20 miles from where I live on the bayou. He grew up in the River Parish, started at Alabama, then he went to Tulane. The last person that I remember from Louisiana to sign with Indiana football, you got to go back to Tracy Porter.
Oh, wow.
In the early 2000s, Indiana had heavily recruited Tracy. At the end, Saban came in and tried to get him to go to LSU with a scholarship. But his mom stepped in and said, wait a minute. You know, we going with the team that sort of asked you to the dance first.
Okay.
And that's where you're going. He went to Indiana. He's from Port Allen, Louisiana. That's the last Louisiana guy.
Wow.
That has went from Louisiana, from the high school ranks, to Indiana. Now, Chaz isn't from the high school ranks, but he's a Louisiana guy going from Tulane to Indiana. That goes to show you, we're talking about over 20 years. And he was able to grab, you know, Chaz and bring him to Indiana. So you can see the impact already. And even in our area, to grab a guy like Chaz Preston, who I think most people, even his trainer, the guy he works out with on a regular basis, who has his camp very close to where I live, he thought he was headed to Florida with John Summerall.
Okay.
And he was like, nope. He announced it last week, going to Indiana, took the visit, liked what he saw there, liked the structure, and he's off. Indiana's here to stay. Now, again, repeating is difficult. Getting back to the national championship is always going to be difficult because of how you got to go through it. And if it becomes expansion, which we'll go to 16 teams fairly soon, the 24 thing is going to be something I think they'll debate for some time. But, man, what Cignetti's done is just remarkable. And, we've been able to see what Lane Kiffin and his staff did at Ole Miss and bring him back to prominence. And we've seen what McGuire's done at Texas Tech, and Cody Campbell certainly being a big part of that in bringing Texas Tech to a certain level. What Phil Knight and the Oregon coaches, now Dan Lanning, has done is a wild ride. I think it's going to happen at Houston with Willie Fritz. What you see in Indiana is a different case because those other schools have had some success in the past. Indiana, none in football. None.
Mike Detillier on ESPN 105.9 The Zone. He joins us on the Farm Bureau Insurance guest line. We're recapping Indiana and Miami. Mike, you mentioned how tough it is to get here. And I want to tip the cap to Miami, too. Talk about Cristobal did an amazing job. I know you know him. He's tied in with Ed Ogeron.
Yeah.
He went through Saban's deal, too. Also was humiliated and fired by Florida International. And talked about that, kind of like Kiffin had to go on rehab and Sark and all these guys. Talk about Miami. Look, you've been in a locker room when the Saints have lost an NFC championship game. And to get to the Final Four in the NFL, as you well know, and what we're going to see this weekend, is so damn difficult. And you have watched the players and the coaches, they're crushed, like after the Rams game. Talk about Miami getting there. What a big deal it was for Cristobal, their team with all their NFL players, but also coming up a little bit short, Mike D.
It scars you for life. You talk to NFL players, and, we have ex-players that come on with us weekly and current players, and they don't talk too much about the wins. They talk about the losses. Man, that is almost vivid. It's so funny. We have Drew Brees on, and he can talk about almost play by play the losses and what went wrong. It's amazing how your mind works that way. You remember the bad things. Good things, hey, you do remember some things about it, but it almost passes like a blur. With Miami, you got to get the quarterback situation straightened out, and Mensah, if he's the guy they're bringing in, then it looks to be that's the case. Super talented guy. I saw him here when he was at Tulane. He was not the guy that Summerall thought would take over. He just outplayed everybody. And he did a great job here. And then he goes to Duke and does a great job there, too, wins from the ACC. The skilled players you can see. But Coach O had told me this about Mario. He's like, I think he's the right guy, Mike, because he emphasizes the physicality part of the game, winning in the trenches. And he had always brought that up to me about, listen, the teams I was on, if it was at Miami or Florida, if it was at USC, that those teams were the real physical teams. Because you're going to play in these type games, you got to win the battle up front. I thought in the first half, even though it was kind of, both teams looked a little shaky there. And that's not a surprise. There's a lot of pressure on you playing in that game. But, man, you saw in the second half, Miami was able to match, for the most part, the physicality of Indiana. Indiana just made a few more plays than what they did. But, man, it's a fertile recruiting ground there for high school talent. And now you've got the fact that you're back in prominence and people with a lot of money at Miami or Florida that's willing to spend it on the athletic program. They have all the ingredients there to win it. They really, really do down the line. So it was big for them. It is scarring, though, to get to that big game and lose it. You always remember that. And I think it's the motivation for the Hurricanes in the future.
It got to be devastating this morning, even though what they did was remarkable and amazing this year with Miami. But I just think we forget about how long it takes from last January until last night and everything you have to go through, and you come up just a little short. They still were amazing, but damn, it's got to hurt.
Yeah. I don't remember a lot of things Les Miles told me because he was sort of talking riddles. Yeah, I mean, he really did. A lot of times you didn't quite get what he was trying to get across. Now, maybe he did, but, sometimes what he told you didn't make a lot of sense because he would throw you off a little bit if you'd ask him a question. He would go on this monologue about something else. And by the time he finished, you sort of forgot about what you asked him. But one of the things he pointed out was every year's a different snapshot in time. And that the team you had in one year, you're not going to see that team again the next. It's going to be different. And so that is one thing that I understood from him very well. That is the course of what we look like. And it's more prevalent today than probably when he said it in probably 2013, 2014. Because of it's a commuter world, not only for coaches, but for players. That wasn't the case 10 years ago or 11 years ago. It is today. And the snapshot in time is going to be a different picture next year. Just like for Ole Miss, I mean, it's critical to get Trinidad Chambers back. You're going to get Kawan Lacey back. You do need to rebuild up along the offensive line because you have some defections there from graduation and get better in the secondary. But that team is going to be different than it was in 2025. And, the coaching changes, that happens too, but that's just part of the world. It's one of the things that Les said that really made a heck of a lot of sense. And it makes more sense today than it did when he told me probably 10, 12 years ago. And I think he was absolutely right back then, and he's right today about how that snapshot in time, you don't get that picture back again. It's going to be a different one.
Mike Detillier on the Out of Bounds Show, brought to you by Sound and Communications. If you need a video wall for your business, school, hotel lobby, soundcomav.com. Mike D, let's switch gears here. What have you heard on the offensive lineman Jordan Seaton? Will he end up at LSU or what's the word?
It is a full court press by LSU to land Jordan Seaton. When they brought him here, the deal was for him not to leave, to go to Oregon. And the plans were for him to leave yesterday to go to Oregon, and he stayed. Actually, took a visit to the governor's mansion yesterday. So now they got the governor of the state of Louisiana involved with this. And it goes to show the all-out press Lane Kiffin has had to land Jordan Seaton. And having watched him, I remember him coming out of IMG. He was one of the most highly recruited offensive tackles. And reasoning why is you knew he was going to play left tackle in college football. And he has started 22 games in 2 years. He missed the last 3 this year with an injury. But he started 13 games at left tackle and then 9 games this past season. He's a potential first-round pick, a big-time left tackle. And so they are throwing the kitchen sink out, basically, to get Jordan Seaton to commit and to sign today. It's all been focused on Tuesday to get him to sign up today. And they've done everything to get him to do it. Now let's see what happens today with his commitment, and will he follow through and make the trip to Oregon? I think that's something Lane Kiffin doesn't want to do, because if he leaves, your probabilities of getting him is going to lessen. But he has been the number one priority guy for their offensive line ever since he announced that he was in the transfer portal. And I think Lane kind of values that quarterback position, left tackle, a cover corner, pass rush defensive end, just like the NFL does. Those guys are gold when you can hit on them. You can find a running back and receiver and safety, but man, left tackle in this league, absolutely gold. So they're doing everything they can, including a trip yesterday afternoon to the governor's mansion to try to get him to sign on with LSU today.
Mike Detillier, LSU insider on the Farm Bureau Insurance guest line. All right, Mike, one more before we let you go. We only got a couple of minutes. Were you surprised that the Buffalo Bills let go of Sean McDermott with all the success he's had?
No. Eventually, owners are tied much more to the GM than they are to a head coach. They have the ear of the owner. So he gets upset. You lose a game like what they did to Denver with numerous opportunities. It was not Josh Allen's best game, certainly, and he's been Superman for him. He wasn't Superman Saturday. He missed on a couple throws. You can't turn the football over that many times and expect to win on the road in Denver, who's got a really good team. And the crazy part isn't the firing. It was the elevation of the general manager to president of football operations. That, to me, is unbelievable. He covered his own butt there.
Yeah.
In essence, saying, well, I got him the players. He couldn't win for me. And, again, when all those disappointments in the playoffs started to rack up. And when that game ended, my thought was he's not coaching this team anymore. But I would have never dreamed that they would give Bean, who has not been a stellar draft evaluator, when you look at that team overall, they give him a raise and an elevation, and the head coach gets fired. Good luck. I mean, Josh can cure a lot of ills on your football team, but they've got to get better in selecting players on draft day. And that part has failed Josh Allen and the Bills the last few years.
Yeah. 4 turnovers for Josh Allen. Tough. And obviously he was devastated after the game, as everybody saw in the press conference. Mike D, that was fantastic, my man. Great college football season. And we'll know who's in the Super Bowl next week, so we look forward to that.
I appreciate it. Hey, listen, college football don't end. It gives me content, all this transfer portal stuff. I try to tell them this, these young kids at the station, they got no clue of this. Man, we never had this. The last 2 years, we've been fortunate. Now it gives us another window and, man, content like we've never had before.
I know it. It's beautiful.
In mid-January.
Thanks, Mike. We'll talk next week.
Thank you, brother.
Brought to you by Sound and Communications for your next video wall for your business or school.
sake, kids, what time is it? It's 9 a.m. and this ain't okay show. It's the Out of Bounds Show with Bo Bounds. On board! As Mississippi's #1 morning show rolls on the Zone 105.9 and online at thezone1059.com.
All right. Good morning. Welcome into the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Indiana is your national champ in football. Never, ever, ever thought that I would say that. Never.
Never say never, but never.
Thank you, Mike Tomlin.
Never say never, but never. Anybody else got any questions about any college jobs? There's not a booster with a big enough blank check.
But evidently there is in Bloomington, Indiana for Curt Cignetti, who made $3.5 million over 40 years of his life. And was it James Madison? None of you have ever watched James Madison play anything.
No.
And he was at James Madison winning big. He has been quoted time and time again as saying he thought that was it. That because of, I guess, maybe his quirkiness and his age, he was not going to get hired. There was definitely age discrimination, which happens every day. Yes. But when it comes to Curt Cignetti and Willie Fritz, athletic directors, many were skittish on hiring them. And Tulane, but then Houston said, no. I mean, look at Willie Fritz. I mean, looks like he lifts weights every day. Looks like he's in great shape. And I don't understand, you're not looking for 7-8 years from your coach. No. You'd love to have him for 4 to 5. And if you get 7-8, great. But you're really looking for 4 to 5 years of your coach winning. And boy, that's like great. Ole Miss just had 6 years of Lane. That's like amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the ultimate tomahawk, bone-in ribeye with whatever beverage you like. Ole Miss just got 6 years of the best coach they've ever had. Right. Sometimes teams get 2 years or 3 years and they bounce. But Willie Fritz and Curt Cignetti are men in their 60s who have taken care of themselves, right? They look good. It's obvious they've taken care of themselves, and they can easily coach next year and the next and the next and the next. Yeah. And that's really all you're looking at is, hey, can this guy give me 3 years, 4 years? Great. Let's go.
Let's ride.
Let's see where it goes. I can't worry about losing you. What have I always said? I may not know much about business. I can't worry about what you can't do. People focus on that like every day. I can't worry about what the people around me can't do. I need to worry about what they can do. And then let's work back from there. And one thing I know is I look at Willie Fritz winning 9 games at Houston, and you look at Curt Cignetti winning 16 games at Indiana, and these guys can coach next year. And the next, and the next, and the next, if they want to, and not miss a beat. Because, again, they're smart, they're grown-ups, they're organized, and they take care of themselves. The Golden Moon Casino text line, 601-885-3776. The show is brought to you by Matt Anderson at Southeastern Land Group. I've known Matt for a long time. He has built a great business. If you're looking for your next property, hunting land, Matt Anderson. A timber investment, Matt Anderson. Waterfront getaway, Matt Anderson. All right. And Southeastern Land Group, Matt Anderson, and his number is 601-408-5155. Talked to Matt yesterday. He was driving through here. He had been looking at a property, I guess, up in the Delta. But maximize your land investment with Matt Anderson at Southeastern Land Group. Follow him on Facebook. He posted an unbelievable video of a beautiful piece of property on the Big Black River. Matt Anderson, Southeastern Land Group. Buy or sell hunting land or residential development with Matt Anderson at Southeastern Land Group. We want you to find us on X at Bo Bounds. And the Budweiser caller line is 601-707-3750. All right, Jackson, Do you know who the starting quarterback was last night for Indiana?
Yeah, Heis Mendoza.
Okay, good.
I know that one. I got the
Good.
quarterback down.
All right. And you know, because you don't like him, you know who the starting quarterback was for Miami.
C. Breezy.
What's your nickname for
C.
him?
Breezy, Carson Beck.
Love it. Okay.
He wasn't breezy last night.
I was pulling for Indiana, but I wasn't anti-Miami.
No.
I really like their team. Man, they've got some good players.
That front four is tough.
They're mean.
God, aren't they?
They're dope.
I tell you what, Indiana and Miami getting after it in the trenches and committed to running the football.
It's tight.
What I love about Cignetti is their 36 carries for 139 yards between Black and Hemby.
Right.
I love that Cignetti was like, it's not pretty, and we're having to earn every yard, but we're not going to stop running the football. When you see other coaches go away from it so quickly this day and age, even when they're having success. Now, Fletcher from Miami, I mean, he had the 57-yard run, and he went for 112.
Man.
But they didn't really have much after that.
They did not.
I mean, they had 5 yards from Jamar Brown, and that's it. Beck wasn't a threat to run the football. But I think the special teams play for me. Even I know Mendoza is the highlight reel that we're all going to go crazy over the next 48 hours before we get into the NFL. But the block punt was so freaking big on a night where Indiana was having to earn every yard they got on offense because Miami and Heatherman, their defensive coordinator, are freaking stout. And Miami will hit you at every level. Did you see what those safeties were doing when they were bringing those damn safeties up? They were thumpers like 1987 middle linebacker thumpers that could only run between the tackles when the game was played always between the tackles. I mean, every time you saw one of those Miami safeties come into play, you were like, damn. I mean, it was vicious and violent. Laying the
they ain't going nowhere either. I know the whole Indiana thing. Like they're still here.
Oh no, Miami's not going anywhere. No, they've got the billionaires and 100 millionaires.
Right.
Cristobal learned from his mistakes. Credit to him because he has been embarrassed a couple of times in games, again like Georgia Tech and some others where they shouldn't have lost. Give that guy credit.
Yeah.
He continued to find a way and learn, and he hired Heatherman, the defensive coordinator, which changed his life, the trajectory of the Miami program, and somebody by the name of Dave Bartu. I know it drives some of y'all crazy because some of y'all are anti-Bartu, and I don't care either way. You can be pro or anti. But Bartu was the one that spearheaded and recommended that hire.
Right.
He and Mario have only talked about 9,000 times the last 3 years. And Heatherman did a hell of a job for the Miami Hurricanes this year as DC.
Did. If you ask Dave, I'm going to assume that he would tell you that the majority of coaches aren't quick to listen. They and at least not to him. Like they have their own thought process, and that's the way they like to think, and that's how they're going to think. And taking an outside counsel is kind of tough for some of them. So props to Chris Paul for taking outside counsel and actually valuing it and moving off.
So that is rare. Most athletic directors and coaches will not listen to some. Not just there's a couple others, not many.
Yeah.
There's not more than 3 that are like the Vandy guys claim to be analytics guys. Those are stats.
Yeah.
And a lot of athletic directors have fallen into that trap by hiring them. I can give you those numbers on Chat GPT. Right. But there's just not many people in Bartu's business. But most athletic directors and definitely most coaches, even though the 90-something% of coaches don't know how to staff, will not listen to a third party. And Bartu's not telling you what to do. He's just recommending.
Right.
The Golden Moon Casino text line, 601-885-3776. Give me one word to describe Curt Cignetti on the text line, 601-885-3776. We're live in the Bank Plus studio. Oh, man. The Out of Bounds show is brought to you by the super premium 100% blue agave Volteo tequila. Taste Italian Kitchen has Volteo, both in Starkville and Ridgeland. The Blanco and the Reposado, delicious. Dak Prescott's tequila. Again, it's 100% blue agave, 100% additive free. Casamigos is not. But Volteo, Volteo, 100% blue agave. And if you like super, super premium tequila, Volteo, Volteo. Also, La Presa in Highland Village, the new Tex-Mex place, they have Volteo, Volteo. La Presa in Highland Village has Volteo, Volteo. Bam. And, if you're in Starkville, Scotty's has the wine and spirit store out on 12, which is really nice.
Yeah.
Beautiful wine and spirit store. Scotty's on Highway 12 has Volteo, and Lincoln Road in Hattiesburg has Volteo. Volteo. Dak Prescott's tequila. It is delicious. Please drink responsibly, but try some.
Yeah.
Today.
Going tequila tour.
We're going on a tequila. That's right.
I love that.
I've been on a Volteo tour. Oh, and Spring Street Cigars in Jackson has Volteo, Volteo. So there you go. And if somebody doesn't have it, just ask. Majority of the time, your wine and spirit store, your favorite restaurant or bar will carry it. It's tied into Dak Prescott, one of the biggest names to ever play sports in the state of Mississippi. It would make sense for a restaurant and bar or wine and spirit store here to have it. All right, so somebody asked me about Mississippi State hoops and tying it in with Ole Miss. Let me say shout out to Elias and AJ Storr for what they did Saturday night at the Hump, hanging in there, coming from behind, and winning the game. Shout out to Malik Dia, who was a big piece of the puzzle last year for Ole Miss with Padula, and Dia had 11 boards. So you want me to talk Mississippi State hoops real quick? All right, so Josh Hubbard did not have one of his better games. Epps did not have one of his better games, and you don't have a wing that's good enough to play at any kind of high level in the SEC, so that doesn't work for Josh. And you sign Epps, who is a discounted Josh Hubbard, which makes no sense either, and we said that 9-10 months ago. No, maybe it wasn't that long ago, but let's say 7-8, whenever the portal goes down, April. So, I guess it was 9-10 months ago. So when you don't have a wing, you don't have any 2-3 combo, really don't even have a 3-4 combo that's good enough to play at any kind of high level. That makes it to where Josh has got to make a ton of shots. And he has for you the last 2 years. If you had not have had him, you would have not gone to the NCAA tournament. And because it's been a struggle to score under Jans. He loves to coach defense and rebounding, but the Tolus and the DJ Jeffries and the Cam Matthews are gone. And you didn't replace them. So, and even then you've needed another offensive weapon for some time now. And probably didn't get enough juice for the squeeze out of Tolu. Not sure what happened that last year, if it was injury, if he just couldn't get back or whatnot. But this is a young man that's playing in the NBA, and not that many guys from Mississippi State and Ole Miss play in the NBA. Not even a game, much less dozens of games. So kudos to Tolu for continuing to kind of adjust his game to the NBA, because I wasn't sure if he could do that, but he's running the floor and doing some things that you have to do. You just want to stay as long as you can, man. The paycheck's insane every 2 weeks in the NBA, right? I mean, just crazy. The per diem. I mean, Jake Mangum's talked about it. You know, once you get to MLB, the per diem and everything is crazy. I mean, I think Jake made, $600,000 or $700,000 last year. I think we came up with it's $4,000 or $5,000 a day, something, as a rookie, and it was 180 days, that you're there, right? He talked about you play 162 games in 180 days. And in the NBA, you play 82 games in about 100 days, right? Okay. So, or maybe a little bit more than that in the NBA, maybe 130.
But the MLB, you got to think about spring training as well.
Well, yeah, he added those 30 games too. But the point is that Hubbard and you missed in the portal. You have no combo 2-3 or no combo 3-4 that's good enough. I mean, you don't have a Malik Dia.
No.
You don't have a Malik Dia. Nothing surprised. I mean, I understand. I mean, he got 11 boards. He's a good player. He can make things happen. Elias he shot really, really well from the floor. Didn't shoot well from the 3-point line, but it was enough. I mean, you lost to an Ole Miss team that went to your house and went 2 for 20 from 3-point land. That's hard to do. I know you weren't that good either. You were 5 of 27, but still. And you shot a bunch more free throws and didn't make them. One thing about Ole Miss, even under AK, and I guess a little bit under Kermit, but I'd have to go back and look at some of those numbers. But definitely under AK, and it looks like Beard, they're able to shoot free throws at a much higher level, and that's tough. Epps was 1 for 12 from 3-point line, and Hubbard was 2 for 8. But look at Ole Miss.
I know.
0 for 4 from Elias, who's their best playmaker or shot maker. 0 for 3 from Pinkins. 1 for 5 from Storr, but Storr was really good from 2-point land. Okay. And that's when Storr came off the bench to pump in 17 points. Mississippi State got a little help from Davis Fleming, but these guys aren't, And Sean Jones, I mean, 2 years later, he's not any better, and that's an indictment on the program. I mean, you've got to be able, if you're going to keep somebody, 24 months later, they have to be better. And you don't have to worry about Hubbard getting better because he's gotten a lot better since January of his freshman year, even though he's coming off, a bad game for his standard. He would tell you that's the worst game he's played as a Mississippi State Bulldog, but he's also had games where he pumped in 27, 30, 33, and 35 for you many a times.
But missing 2 free throws, though? Come on now,
tough.
Josh.
It's not Hubbard-like.
That's not Josh.
Yeah, well, obviously. But, I mean, it happens. And you're going to – every player is going to have a game like that. And when you don't have any kind of support system, plus there was 11 seconds left.
Yeah.
I think what people are forgetting is, he could have tied it or gone ahead. Ole Miss still had 11 seconds left. You don't know what's going to happen with Elias or Storr or Malik at that point. So the bottom line is you're not a good team. No. I don't know what any other way to I mean, you're 10-8 and 2-3. You're just not a good basketball team. You're going to have to hope that, and I think it's very doable. You're going to have to hope to keep Hubbard, and then you're going to have to adjust the way that you evaluate in the portal. And you're going to have to go hire someone that's more of a GM and that can evaluate talent. You spent a running fortune, as did Ole Miss. And they're not that good either, but they're on a 3-game winning. Maybe Beard finds the magic. Auburn tonight in Oxford?
Ooh.
We'll see. I mean, it's no longer Bruce Pearl. It's Stephen Pearl.
Yeah, Bruce Jr.
Bruce.
Why did he not name him Bruce? Come on. Should have been a junior.
I don't know. Have you heard from Mackenzie Selman?
Nah.
Dude, you can't make it rain.
Well.
I mean, you just
at this point,
you can't get it done.
Nah.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
It is.
For the show.
And for me.
Yeah. I mean, you hadn't booked a guest since you've been back.
No.
I was just seeing if you could get Mackenzie on the phone.
Dude, she's partying.
Auburn's 2-3 in league play, 11-7 overall.
Has she not partying?
I bet John Cohen's so mad at where everything is down there. I mean, had to fire Freeze, hire Golish. That's a meh hire. Yeah. Bruce Pearl decides to step down. Now you got Stephen Pearl, and you're not good. Oh, man. Good morning. Welcome into the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. I win. Google me.
Golly. I mean, how dry is that guy? And yet, how awesome is he?
I told Mackenzie about the Google me quote.
Yeah, what'd she say?
Well, she wasn't.
Is she an Indiana fan?
She was pulling for Indiana last
We're
night.
talking about Mackenzie Jackson's
That's
girlfriend.
Right. Swap up.
Not Mackenzie Selman, the Indiana grad.
Right, there you go.
And sports media extraordinaire.
Right.
She's been in the studio.
She has.
The Indiana sports Mackenzie. We have interviewed her, and she was also part of our Red Beans and Rice. She was a judge.
Yes.
She was a judge for the Red Beans and Rice. Yeah, competition. Yeah. Oh, and she also was kind enough to come to our Out of Bounds Cornhole Classic.
That's correct.
And she got out on the dance floor and hurt everybody's feelings.
Also correct.
Yeah. In a good way.
Yeah.
But she knows how to boogie.
Right.
She knows how to move.
Yeah.
And she enjoyed the Tito's blueberry drink that we had at our party.
It was a good drink.
ESPN 105.9 The Zone, the Golden Moon Casino text line, 601-885-3776.
Anyone else?
That's so good. But this is what I would have said about Indiana winning it all in football.
Never say never, but never.
Shows you what I know.
Well.
Yeah. I can't ever, even with Penix, nope. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I may have stood in front of the TV when the Big Ten was tied in with the ESPN. And just, you know how sometimes you don't realize you want to change the channel?
Yeah.
But so you just watch game day and you're just kind of in no man's land, spacing out a little bit for a minute. And like Indiana and Northwestern come on.
Yeah, just randomly.
And you're like, damn, I just watched 3 plays of terrible football. Yep. And it's so overcast and miserable. There's 47 students in the stands. And the TV watching part of this, because it's so gray and dark there on a Midwestern Saturday morning. And you're like, wow, I don't know one player on this team.
No.
I don't know who is the Indiana coach. And why am I watching this? And then they break up with ESPN. The Big Ten breaks up with ESPN and decides to win 3 straight national titles between Michigan, Ohio State, and Indiana. You would have thought I'd say Michigan, Ohio State, or Michigan, Ohio State, Michigan, or maybe Penn State.
Oregon?
Yes, thank you. The new Oregon is in. Yes, absolutely. Oregon, who got run out of the stadium by Indiana. I mean, what Indiana did to Oregon was criminal. So was what Toledo did to Mississippi State in 2024. But what Indiana did to Oregon, who's a top 5 recruiter, is criminal.
I mean, Indiana going 16-0, that's impressive.
They still,
yeah,
they ran the gambit.
I mean, they went to Oregon, played a tough Penn State.
It's really impressive. It's like you move into Forest, Mississippi. That impresses me.
I wouldn't go that far yet.
Yeah,
come on now.
That's a little.
Yeah.
That's a little bit better.
Anyway,
you bring up old stuff now.
Yeah, Out of Bounds, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Do we have Mackenzie?
Got Dan Patrick. Dan Patrick, Pete Patrick.
From the tire place?
Tires.
In Brandon?
That's it.
Is this Peter Patrick? Dan Patrick, what's up, buddy?
How you doing, man? I just wanted to check to see how your tires are doing.
They are fantastic. If anybody needs tires today, go see these guys in Brandon.
Killing it.
Just wanted to see if y'all are doing all right.
Well, are y'all busy this morning?
We got a little bit going. I'm actually coming back from the grocery store. When I'm not selling tires, I'm making jelly. And
good jelly.
I've been making jelly and jams and preserves for about 15 years. So my customers, they love that too. So I've got one customer, he's buying 2 cases of cherry blend. That's cherries, blueberries, and strawberries. And it's really good on a hot biscuit. So that's what I'll be doing today. But I'll be back at the store tomorrow.
Okay.
They kicking it. I was there yesterday. We trucking along. We own 31 years now.
All right. So Peter Patrick Tires in Brandon.
Pete Patrick.
Pete Patrick.
Pete Patrick Tires in Brandon is the place to get your tires. Are you going to save a jar of? I love good homemade jelly.
So good.
I mean,
I'll save you several. So
okay.
I just need to know when you and Jackson can get away. I'll buy you lunch and I'll have you some jelly.
Okay, because my dad bought Mayhaw jelly for years, and we just fell in love with it. And
Mayhaw about around May's when they come in. And
okay.
You like muscadine? They come in the middle of August.
Love it.
Make good muscadine jelly.
God.
Oh, yeah. When we're not doing tires, we're thinking about what we're having for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Well, we're going to have to go. I'm going to have to take you and whoever to Philip M's Steakhouse at Pearl River Resort.
Oh, you ain't got to do all that. Hey, we wanted to help you. We that morning that Jackson was having tire trouble, I just happened to be listening. I was headed to Rick's Pro Truck to get some work done.
Love it.
And I just happened to be listening. And when you told him whatever you need, I'll pay for it, I said, no, you're not going to one-up me today. You're not going to deny my blessing. That's why I put a whole set of tires. And then I got to thinking, well, I can't do Jackson and not do both.
Good point.
And
I love it.
That's why Dad and me, we did you. So,
well, you saved me, man, because now my GMC Yukon from Fowler GMC now has Pete Patrick tires from Brandon on it, and I am ready to roll. And I can't thank you enough, and I look forward to going to lunch with you, but also getting a jar of jelly from you.
Let me know when y'all can break away. I'll buy you lunch and load you up with a bunch of jelly. You like pickles? You like dill pickles?
I love them.
I make a mean garlic dill pickle.
Oh, gosh.
So, yep, they're really good.
Man.
So, anyway, you just let me know, and I'll make it a point to meet you there at the store, and we'll have lunch. I'll treat you to lunch and load you up with jelly and pickles.
Well, Dan, we appreciate it, my man.
Thank you, buddy. Y'all have a good day.
All right. Pete Patrick Tires in Brandon. That's the place. Look, if I'm having a boar's head sandwich or a burger, I've got to have pickles on it.
Well, yeah.
And y'all have heard me talk about it for years. So the fact that he's going to hook us up with some homemade jelly and some homemade dill pickles.
Yeah, as soon as he said that, the first thing that came to mind was taking that jelly and putting it on that bread.
The homemade bread. Wendy made homemade bread yesterday.
It's so good.
And she followed Jermaine's recipe. And
how is bread that good?
It was fabulous.
I didn't know it was.
Some of it had some Mississippi State jalapeno cheese on it when I got home, and then I also grabbed some honey and on a separate piece and put some in there.
The only other thing, the thing other than honey that I found best on there is Kessler's butter. I took it home and just murdered it.
Did you really?
Yeah, I got that whole. I had that loaf and just started dipping it in there. It was so good.
Yeah,
because it got that little sweet.
Yeah, because you can't get enough sugar.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean,
I get plenty out.
I mean, at 3:00 in the morning.
Oh, you do?
He's still murdering.
To all of your Christmas card list.
Dude, they got to know.
Yeah, I don't think you sent them this year.
I sent a couple. I actually received one the other day.
Really?
Post Christmas. I appreciate the effort, anyways.
Damn right. When it gets there, it gets there.
Hey,
or when it gets
I understand
to you, it gets to you.
Takes a lot.
You didn't even mention that I'm wearing a Pittsburgh Pirates pullover.
It's my vision of the P is blocked.
Brand new. I sent a picture of it to Jake Mangum. If you're watching on YouTube, search Out of Bounds Sports. I have a really cool Pittsburgh Pirates pullover on.
It's
hoodie.
This is facts.
Yeah.
It is. It's dope.
Yeah, it is.
You did it right. You didn't get all too busy.
In honor of Willie Stargell.
Big Will.
Okay. Bill Matlock.
Dave Parker,
who we had Larry Boa on last year when he passed away, and Boa talked about Dave Parker and all that, which was really good. Larry Boa, who played for the Phillies, among other teams,
mention the
and
MVP.
was a longtime baseball coach in MLB.
Better mention the MVP. Yeah. Big Barry
Bonds.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he was winning them at that point, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Jim Leland
wore him out.
Man, that
That's one of the
video
best.
of Leland wearing Barry Bonds out.
I don't think many people wore Barry out like that.
Well, that was a different day and age where a manager would cut through the BS quick and just say, I'm not gonna put up with the drama.
He wore him out.
Yeah.
Like incredibly.
Do we have the audio?
Yeah.
All right. I want to start with Mark Cuban. Let's switch gears. Good morning. Welcome in. Out of Bounds, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. The show is brought to you by the Mississippi State University College of Business. And they just took a team out to Long Beach, California to compete against a bunch of schools, and they won. So not only is Dean Scott Graw young, been in the private sector, super aggressive, playing offense, doing amazing things for the College of Business at Mississippi State University. Finance, supply chain, accounting, you name it. But he's making sure that your son or daughter is competing at a high level. They took a group to Vermont and also won Best Presentation. Business.msstate.edu. Contact Dean Scott Graw and his team today and schedule a private tour of the Mississippi State University College of Business. Dean Scott Graw is doing an amazing job. Now, speaking of, Mark Cuban, Indiana Hoosier alum, and he was there last night, and this is what he had to say on chasing the most expensive players in the portal.
Well, and I want to ask you, as an investor and somebody who wants to pour money into this program because you want to continue to build this success, how do you mitigate the risk of overspending, overpaying, and then you're in a situation of where you're not getting that return on investment or you lose the blue-collar element of your program?
Sure, it's a great question. I talked to Scott Dolson, who should be AD of the year on the planet, and we talked about that specific thing. The minute you start chasing the most expensive people coming out of the portal, you lose your identity. You lose your culture because every other guy who came into the program sees that. Why are they chasing him and bidding him up and they didn't do that for me? Why is it now about 5 stars as opposed to the blue-collar, hard-working guys? Because you know what it's like. Both all you guys do. Guys have to know their roles.
Yes.
And they have to be excited to come to work every single day. And it's literally work now because they're getting paid. And so you got to know how that fits. If you don't understand that, your program's not going to work. And if you don't have coaches that can turn that into a one-year guy, in basketball, we talk about basketball IQ. You got to have football IQ. You got to know exactly what you're doing. And he knows how to identify those guys. He has the coaches who paid a fortune for because they know how to teach those guys and coach those guys. And you got to have that organization with Scott Dolson and Pam Whitten that keep that together. But to your point, Danny, if you don't, the minute you lose culture, the minute you lose the locker room, it's over.
All right. And, so Mark Cuban, now, it's just a balance, right?
Yeah.
It was tough. You are going to, Indiana, even as national champs, has missed on players. However, it's their hit rate or low miss rate that is what is so valuable and impressive. And the fact that the guy has talked about time and time again everything that he learned from Nick Saban, which his quote was, I learned more from Nick in year one than the 27 years of coaching that I had prior to arriving at the University of Alabama in 2007. So from 2007 to 2010, he was the wide receivers coach, which was Julio Jones and those guys, and recruiting coordinator.
That guy.
Okay. So he caught that first wave of Alabama, national championship and so on before taking a job at IUPU or something. So, and he says this right here. He said, this is the quote after just 1 year with Saban. Cignetti said he had learned more about how to run a program than maybe I did the previous 27 as an assistant coach. He went on to say the blueprint helped him instill standards at Indiana, where he's described as the GM and head coach. Cignetti on Saban, and I quote, I think everybody learned a lot from Nick. He was a great mentor, very organized, detailed, had a plan for everything. managed lead, how to stop complacency, game day, recruiting evaluation, player evaluation. I mean, he had it all. And if you were serious about your career and wanted to be a head coach one day, you took great notes or great mental notes. End of quote from Cignetti on Saban. He also said he was able to learn at those two low levels as a head coach so that he knew more of what to do at Indiana. Imagine that. Head coaching experience counts.
Crazy.
Imagine that. Head coaching experience matters. Right? I mean, there are some exceptions.
Sure.
Dan Mullen, Adwater, head coach. Tommy Tuberville, Adwater, head coach. But look, Dan was with Urban Meyer for 9 years at several different levels. One is at Notre Dame when Urban was an assistant and Dan was a GA. But then at Bowling Green, okay, G5. Utah at that time, G5.
That's right.
And then Florida. And then, of course, Tuberville had been under some absolute dudes at Miami and Texas A&M. So that's Cignetti. Now, we've got some Cignetti audio. We talked about his father, Hall of Fame coach, and Cignetti dedicated the win to his late father.
I thought about him after the game when I stuck my two fingers in the air, and then Big Ten Network asked me about him, and I said, "Oh, you want me to get all choked up, right?" When we went from FCS to FBS in the Sun Belt, our first game he was in a coma, and we beat that FBS team 48-10 in the opener. And my family told me in the hospital that we'd won 48-10, and they said he smiled. And then we had a great win against Appalachia State the week after he died down there after they beat A&M. We were down 28-3 in the second quarter, came back and won. So hopefully he was watching today. He was a great role model. I was very blessed to have a father like that.
Okay, so that's Curt Cignetti talking about his father who's in the Hall of Fame.
That's cool.
And was a longtime coach in Pennsylvania. And that was beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
I got some chill bumps just
That's
then,
dope.
man.
Yeah.
I got some chill bumps.
So, and I did not realize that his dad died during the season, and that I do remember App State going to A&M and beating Jimbo, and evidently they came. I don't know if it was in Boone or at James Madison, but they're down 28-3. Evidently, James Madison is to App State, and then they come back and win the game.
Wasn't App State rolling at this point too? I mean, they were pretty good for that for that group, right?
App State's been good. I think his name is Jerry Moore, and he was there forever. And then they went through several other good coaches, and of course, Eli Drinkowicz went through App State. Now he was not there long, but that's where he got hired from for Missouri. I think he was OC, promoted from within, head coach for a year or two, and then Missouri. Yeah.
Who did they beat? They beat Tennessee? Did they beat Tennessee? Or did they beat Michigan?
100 years ago, back in like 04, 5, or 6, they beat Michigan.
That was the big one?
At Michigan.
That was the big one.
That
block field goal.
Yeah.
And that was, I think, the Moore guy. That was the legendary App State coach forever.
Okay.
I don't know how he stayed
at App State
that long. I don't know how he was not hired by a P4, P5, whatever, athletic director. But he was there, man, for, I mean, I 99, 2000, 99, 98, 99, I spent a week in Boone, North Carolina, which is where App State is. Yeah. It's a gorgeous, I've been through there since, but it's a gorgeous place. It's beautiful. The mountains, the campus is really cool. The baseball field's wild. Just kind of the way it's set, almost like in the woods.
That's cool.
It's a cool thing.
Yeah, I'd like to hit dingers over trees.
Yeah. I mean, especially if the fence is 190.
Hey.
For you.
Dingers.
Yeah.
We're not worried about how close that fence was.
I thought you said you only hit one dinger.
He did at Mount Salus.
Yeah, baby.
The pitcher was probably 5'4", 127 pounds, throwing a 76 miles per
even worse
per hour fastball.
Homeschool team.
Really?
Yeah, drilled them. I think they no hit us the first game. We had a double hitter.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
so
that
they had
bad.
a dude that could throw the first game?
I wouldn't say that. I'd just say he was facing us. He probably could throw a little bit. If he could throw it over the plate, he could get us all out. We're bad.
Yeah.
But hey.
How many players did you have on your team?
Oh, man. We had to pick up some from 7th and 8th grade. We probably had like 13, 14.
Okay. Including a couple of 7th and 8th graders?
Yeah, like 4.
Wow.
Yeah, so I played first and catcher.
You playing catcher?
Catcher was lit.
As gangly as you are, and like you're not sure exactly where your legs and arms are going. I wish I could have watched that.
I wish I had.
How much did you like putting on catcher's equipment?
That part I disliked greatly, as you could probably imagine. I didn't really do the whole squat down behind the plate thing. I kind of just sat.
Kind of like Beyonce Santiago.
You sat down on your
yeah
bottom?
Because what else am I going to do?
How many guys you throw out?
Oh, I was gunning folks out at first. They'd get a little lead at first, and I'd always hit them with that little.
What about the second base guy?
Second, did I nail
You would
the
throw
second.
behind them?
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. Dude,
These guys must have been incredibly slow and unathletic.
Yeah.
For you to be able to throw them out.
Repeatedly.
Okay.
Like, ding. It was, that was lit.
Is this when you were sitting on your butt?
Yep.
Or were you on your feet when you would throw them out?
There was one I didn't even have to get up on my knees. Just that coach.
Did the coach get mad at you when you sat on your butt?
Furious. But what was he going to do? I mean, I was making
You didn't
plays.
have anybody else?
There was no one else. I was making plays.
Making plays.
There's one thing that they knew.
Single A Mount Salus. Are they in MAIS?
Yeah, they're in MAIS.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they are.
I'm going to ask
Single A,
somebody
baby.
after the show.
I'm going to tell you what. They knew not to come to that plate.
Oh, really?
They'll lay them out.
Really?
Hey, baseball physical, baby.
Yeah, you like to play dirty.
Did you ever pitch? Did you ever pitch?
Yeah, whenever we needed to hit somebody.
High and tight,
Yeah,
coming in up under the chin.
If I was aiming high and tight, it'd probably hit the dugout, but it would be close enough. They got the picture.
All right. That was a good show. I think I'm going to go home and take a nap.
Well, you were up late.
Except I got a meeting at 10:45. I was up late. Let's see. Lunch today?
What's the spot?
Taste Italian Kitchen in the Renaissance. How about that? Let's start with some calamari and the world-famous meatball, or maybe a charcuterie board, and then we'll get into some wood-fired pizzas and some pastas. TasteItalianKitchen.com. You're going to need to make a reservation to get in, unless you're going like mid-afternoon before lunch and dinner, or maybe if you get there right at 11 a.m.
I think it matters.
Go online, TasteItalianKitchen.com. In the Renaissance and in Starkville, Mississippi. Good show today. We'll see you tomorrow.